You've made a perfect diamond formation around the two sleeping goblins in the center of this rock.
Yeah, so I'll wake them up.
Well, I also have a charm spell.
Don't use it.
Okay, you wake up the goblins, and they grab their swords. And
wait, we didn't tie them? Why didn't we tie them?
No one said they wanted to tie them up.
Okay, now we'll roll.
Way to go, Horace.
Every family does game night differently, and in 2020, mine started playing tabletop RPGs remotely, and that, friends, is where this story began. I left for the military at 18 years old and have lived far away from my hometown ever since, which means apart from holidays back home and the occasional visit from my sister out to the random places that I have lived, we haven't had the consistency for game night that one would hope for. At least until social distancing and virtual hangouts became far more accessible. For this video, I really wanted to share a one-page comic highlighting our very first Adventurers campaign together. The original sketch was drawn all the way back in 2020, at the same time that I started up my Etsy shop, and my mom graciously supported it with a commission of her own original character, Ember Fireside. But when we picked the game back up this year, I wanted to complete the comic page digitally and needed more reference material for the rest of our party. So I began drawing my sister's elven ranger, Thaila, who I am currently showing on screen now. If I were a medieval adventurer in real life, I'd probably personally be a bard, not based on any musical inclination, but for my proclivity for art and storytelling. Even though my husband Richard is the game master, I'm the unofficial scribe, recording each game day and illustrating them to the best of my ability, time willing, of course. This is not a party of one, however. You heard other voices besides mine in the video intro, and I am so excited to introduce them to you. There was my sister playing Thaila, and my mother speaking for Ember. You also heard Richard, our studious GM, Horace the Barbarian, who is my sister's husband, and Ducky, the rock gnome bard, who is played by my cousin. And then there is the conflict where the five of us had two enemy goblins surrounded and were caught between trying to engage them verbally for information or engage them violently in battle. And Thaila here, despite being chaotic evil by design, fought hard to take the goblins hostage rather than murder-hobo them into taking their secrets to the grave. I will say, we all went into the situation with the best of intentions to communicate and persuade the goblins to answer our interrogation. As ensemble stories tend to go, we too went a little off course and, amidst the chaos, had some of the most unexpected surprises. If you have played tabletop RPGs or story-based games, whether at home, in the car ride on family road trips, or among friends, what are some of the nuttiest situations your stories have devolved into? I would love to hear about them, so please let me know down in the comments. These games are really fun, and I was really inspired to create this artwork and took a chance with the other three characters, including my own Druid Dragonborn, drawing them for the first time in the panels of this page, rather than handling them separately as you saw with Ember and Thaila. I think the most fun part about making comics is how expressive they are while telling a story. The goblins were simple and hilarious to make, and that was a lot of fun to draw. And the change in expressions from each character from panel to panel illustrate exactly what that player or character is thinking in the moment. And this was a moment of pure misunderstanding. I'm really not used to drawing anamorphic characters, so my own OC was really tough for me to figure out, but I finally settled on something that felt doable for me, especially in a format that may require me to draw them again from different angles and in different poses. I'm still not sure if a Dragonborn is supposed to have a tail, but at this angle, who's to say whether or not mine does? And if I thought the Dragonborn was hard, I was very surprised to realize in practice that the Barbarian was even harder. I think I have a tendency to draw more lean characters as a habit, and so drawing a bulkier character was a lot tougher for me, and I realized after doing this that I need a lot more practice with this body type, and I look forward to doing an even better version of Horus the Barbarian in future illustrations. And finally, we have our last party member, which is Ducky, the Rock Gnome Bard, or by his full name, Stumble Duck Quill Sharpener, but we call him Ducky. And I am probably the most pleased with how this character came out of all 5 of the characters. There is just something about the exaggerated features of a gnome that really resonate with me. And then of course the color palette. He wanted to have blue hair with a little bit of the facial hair as well. And then there was the purple glove and vest, which was color that he specified he wanted, along with a little bit of gold, not nearly as vibrant as the trim on Daila's outfit, only because it would compete way too much with the other vibrant colors that Ducky is already sporting. I do have a lot to say about the color choices or exploration in this piece, especially since this was the first time I was drawing a lot of these characters, but this drawing is already close to done, so we'll save that discussion for the comments section. And if you were wondering how that situation resolved itself from the beginning of the video, well...
Okay, I'm gonna take out my rope and try
That's cruel.
tie up the goblin.
Thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe if you would like to see more art like this on my channel in the future. And don't forget to check out these videos, which I really think you are going to love.